On March 2nd, 2016, Lars and James Hetfield from the mighty Metallica got together with a panel of musicians, actors, and businessmen in Berkeley, California to discuss the creative process and the Bay Area. I was made aware of this event from their website. Tickets were $5. I didn't know the first few rows were reserved for the Berkeley students, but I still got a decent seat. Les Claypool from Primus was the only other person I was remotely interested in seeing, and he did not disappoint. It was quite an interesting night. I think Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day was supposed to be there, but couldn't make it at the last minute. This is a collection of my favorite moments from the Metallica members. In case you're too lazy to watch the hour and 8-minute version I already posted, or go looking for the various shorts videos. You're welcome. Enjoy.
Whether I'm trying to preempt the beating or I have a standard that I'd like to reach. Sometimes it takes a lot longer to reach it. And I want to be that artist that it just flows out of it. It's, the guy at the parties is just reciting lyrics and blah, blah, this and that. I'm not that guy. I sit down, I get dark, I get lonely, I get in my cave, and I start doing stuff. And that's not very collaborative, but it's maybe, it's really kind of thinking and feeling and just getting kind of inside myself and seeing what comes out.
I like doing voiceovers.
Yeah. Gosh, it's just another way to make something that I envision, or I think listening to all these people up here tonight has been really amazing, and how diverse the creative process can be, and how much you want to know about it or how much you don't want to know about it. I think that the more I think about the process, the more difficult it becomes. If I get into left, right, and all that stuff and start figuring things out, it becomes less creative to me. It's more like a formula or formulaic. And I would rather just shoot from the hip. I would rather just feel it. It's really hard to not, and I'll speak for myself, being a lyricist, that when you're putting your heart on the paper, it's hard for other people to critique it. Like that movie earlier, how the older gentleman was just all cool with it all. It's really difficult to be like that. When someone's talking to you about your soul, your heart and soul that you're putting out there, and they say, yeah, it's all right. That's probably the worst. If someone says, I don't get it, I'd rather have them say that than, yeah, it's okay. That's totally awesome would work as well. All the time. But, I'm probably the biggest critic of myself, my growth, my work, anything that I do. I beat on myself harder than anybody else does. When I'm not performing music. Performing music is really fun. Writing music is really fun. What other outlets? I love being in my backyard. I'm a beekeeper. I raise bees and got stung this morning. What? No. I like being outside. I like being outdoors. I like hiking, hunting, doing outdoor stuff. We just got a puppy. How many puppies is too many?
That's all I want.
Here's a riff, here's a song title, here's a really strong subject matter or something.
And
here's what I'm scared about, here's what I fear. You know, things that...
You do it alone, each of you, and then you show each other what you made?
Pretty much.
Write a song together, or is that...
Yeah, we've done that as well. We've done that as well, and it was called St. Anchor. And
I don't think that much has changed. I mean, James is saying it's morphed, but it's still, you know, James will, you know, come up with some riffs. I'll come up with some drum beats, some ideas about different song structures, or how about something that it goes in this direction, and then he brings his riffs out, and I bring my kind of stuff, and Kurt gives a take, you know, sort of over the past 30 years or so, you know, Kurt or Newstead would bring in his idea.
I listen to hair metal, and that makes me angry, so...
We're getting a lot out of this LA thing tonight.
No. It comes from anywhere. A line from a movie, you know, listening to talk radio. It's kind of anywhere, really. You know, reading stuff. You know, as far as lyricists go, I mean, there are some that I really admire and like to tap into, and
such as,
you know, just wish I could be as good as, you know, Tom Waits, as you know, Phil Lynott, as Nick Cave, you know, Leonard Cohen. A lot of great lyricists, and it's really cool to read up on them and hear how they come up with their stuff. Just sitting there playing a guitar, it's almost soothing to me. Like I could put myself to sleep. Okay, I put others to sleep too. I could put myself to sleep playing guitar. And it's soothing, and it's also extremely violent and angry. So I think a lot of the creativity comes from, and like you said, it's a reaction to other stuff. The stuff that I hear on the radio, the stuff that's supposed to be good that's out there, the stuff that I'm supposed to like. I don't for some reason, and I'm not trying to be a rebel just to be a rebel, but when I hear that, I want to make something that I want to hear. Same with the car. There's a car, it's a beautiful car, but if it only had this and this and this, it's like, so you make your own prototype, and that's kind of what happens musically. I like that song, I love that riff, but God, when he does that, you know, here, let's swallow that and digest it, and we vomit it out Metallica, you know? That is what happens, and that is really kind of why LA was such a great inspiration for us. It was filled with things that we hated. So it made us play faster, play more, and want to express ourselves. So that's why, you know, moving up here was so great to be able to have the anger side creating something, but also there was the positive side, you know, the batteries got two sources of energy. When I was a kid, I was always drawn to imagery, iconic imagery, or, you know, or logos, you know. There's that logo quiz, man, I'm pretty good at it. You know, Amazon, like, yeah, that's easy. There's something about that, being a very visual person, and knowing that I am, I can be okay with that, not thinking that I have to be this way, I have to be creative this way. I think, you know, before even coming out here, I felt, well, I'm not worthy to be on the stage after all those talks, and realizing that that's part of my creativity, that, you know, just thinking that I don't belong is inspiring to me to be creative.
It's like sort of like building a house. You know, you start with the foundation is the riff and the rhythms, and then, or at least in our world, that, and then you sort of keep piling it on, and then the melodies and the lyrics and have a tendency to come sort of later in the process. But if you look at 35 years of Metallica, it hasn't changed that much. I mean, there's been times, like James is saying, where we would go and let's try to reinvent the wheel and see, okay, and then St. Anger happens and somebody forgets to turn the snare drum on, like Theo said, and whatever else. And so it's, you know, all these types of things. And because, you know, I think over the course of our creative relationship, we've had, to a degree, a kind of an extreme fear of repetition. And we were always so like, okay, we've done that, now we gotta go over here. Now we've done that, now we gotta go over here. We gotta do something else. This is for me. Lars, what is your favorite art piece you own and why? P.S. Your dad is awesome. My favorite art piece is my dad.
I think you're his art piece. If you really think about it.
No.
The snare on St. Anger was also not your fault. I really like this.
You know what? There is a vacancy in our PR department. Yes. And so, yeah, so please come and work with us. How about if we get back to our regularly scheduled program right now? Hi, I'm Lars, your humble host for the evening. Welcome to Berkeley, welcome to Front Row. And since we're off to such a good start, I'm pretty sure that there will be lots of these to come. We can tackle snare drum sounds, we can tackle the lack of bass and injustice. Maybe there's even someone here that we could talk about that Napster. We can go through. I wanted to ask you a question or two, Chris. Is that cool? Do you want to sit down?
Yeah, I mean, I can sit down here.
So I'm just curious about a couple things. I don't know if I've ever interviewed my dad. It's kind of cool.
Hello?
Wait till he gets out here. He would only join the band if we came to the Bay Area. Thank fuck. Excuse me.
Well, as you know, LA was like, for us musically, we felt like misfits. We felt like someone who was playing music that wasn't about a look, it wasn't about a pose, it was from our heart, it was what we were feeling. And when we did come up and play up here, we connected with the fans because that's what they came to see or hear or feel. So the creativity was more of a connection up here than LA. So escaping LA, Cliff asking us to come up here was the
Cliff was a wise man.
Greatest gift ever.
Very wise man.